Good morning, Year 8. Today is the 5th of April, 2020, and we're now going to move on to Unit 2, Working with Powers. I'm going to upload the whole chapter for you and also this video, so you can look at the video as we go through the chapters. And the first the first title will be 2.1, Simplifying Expressions, and the learning intention will be to simplify expressions involving powers and brackets. This is all in the book, the chapter I'm going to upload today. And we are going to do questions 1 to 7. So this is part 1 of this 2.1, and we're going to do questions 1 to 7. So moving on. So let's look at the fluency questions. So all of these expressions simplify to 12x. What are the missing terms or numbers? So 8x plus what gave us 12x? So the answer for the first one would be 4x. 8x plus 4x gives me 12x. The second one is something subtract 8x gave us 12x, because remember it says it simplifies to 12x. So that would be 20x. 20x, sorry, let me write this here again. Subtract 8x gives you 12x. And then if we look at the third part, something times 4x gave us 12x. Well, that would be 3. 3 times 4x gives you 12x. Now, oops, let me write this out again. 3 multiply here, not 3x, guys. It's 3 multiply 4x gives you 12x. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times x will give you 3x. So that's your 12x. What I'm trying to say is, don't think, oh, it's 3x times 4x, because 3x times 4x is actually 12x squared. So notice the difference. 3 times 4x is 12x. 3x times 4x is 12x squared. Because x times x is x squared. And then the final one, it says 24x divided by something gave you 12x. So again, 24 divided by what gives me 12? That's 2. So 24 divided by 2 gives you 12x. Okay, so that's our fluency question, just to get us up to speed on this topic. And now we're going to move on to the first part of the questions. So we've got exercise 2.1. And the first question is simplify these expressions. And then the second part, it says copy and complete this addition pyramid. And remember, addition is in algebra is the same as collecting and simplifying. Each brick is the sum of the 2 bricks below. So anyway, we'll look at the first one. Now, simplify. We have done this before. So when we're simplifying, we're basically collecting. Okay, let me write this out a bit quicker. Like terms. Okay, so simplify, collecting like terms. It's the same thing, and you basically put in the same creatures together. So if we look at the first one, you got 3x plus 5x. So 3x plus 5x. Well, 3x is basically saying x plus x plus x. And 5x would be the same as saying plus x plus x plus x. This was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So altogether, 3x plus an additional 5x. How many x's altogether? And that's 8x. So 3x plus 5x will give you 8x. Part B, you got 8y plus 2z plus 2y plus 9z. So again, remember, when you're simplifying, collecting like terms, you're basically putting same creatures together. Yes? So we've got 8y. Yeah, let me just write this out again. So 8y plus 2z plus 2y plus 9z. So that's the first one. So again, which two are the same? So if you look, you've got 8y and 2y. So 8y plus 2y, these two are the same because they both have the terms y. So that's going to give you 10y. And then 2z plus 9z, these two are different creatures, remember, because they're terms in z. So they're going to be plus 2 plus 9, 11z. And y and z are not the same, so I can't bring them together. So that's all you have to do. You won't simplify anything any further. So it's 10y plus 11z. So I'm going to let you guys do the rest of the questions, but be careful if you have a negative sign. So it's like a negative 2. So you've got 7t plus 5g minus 2g minus 5t. So you need to bring these two together, 7t and minus 5t, negative 5t. So that would be the same as saying, okay, 7t subtract 5t, that will equal to, simplify, sorry, to 2t. We've got 5g subtract 2g. Again, the sign in front is a negative. 5g, right, it's here. 5g subtract 2g to give you 3g. So this term here, this will simplify to 2t plus 3g. So 5 take away 2 is a positive 3. So this one will simplify to 2t plus 3g. Okay? So I'll let you guys do B, D, and E. So as I said, always be careful when you're collecting, simplifying. Make sure you look at the sign in front of the letter. So that's a positive x squared, and that's a negative x to the power 3. This is also x to the power 3. So you've got to bring the same creatures together. Part 2, so it says each brick, so this plus this will give you this brick here. So you've got 4x squared plus 2x cubed. You've got 6x squared plus x cubed. So again, bring the same creatures together. So let me move this out of the way. Move this out of the way. So you've got 4x squared plus 2x cubed plus 6x squared plus x cubed. Okay, so again, look at where the same creatures. We've got 4x squared and 6x squared, so these two are the same. And then if I look at the others, I've got 2x cubed and x cubed. So 4x squared plus 6x squared is 10x squared. So we've got 10x squared. 2x cubed plus x cubed is 3x cubed. So it's going to be 10x squared plus 3x cubed. Cubed, remember, is x to the power 3. Now to work out this missing block, so you basically need to do the opposite. You need to take a 9x squared plus 3x squared, subtract 6x squared plus x cubed to work out this missing block here. So subtract here from here to get to there. Once you worked out this brick, add these two bricks together to work out the top final brick on top. Question 3, expand. Now expand, some books use the word multiply out. It means the same thing. Expand, multiply out means the same thing. Basically, whatever is in the bracket, you're multiplying with the number or term outside of the bracket. Expand is basically multiplying everything in here with what's out here to get rid of the brackets. And this is why it's called multiply out. So the first one, I'll do that with you. Do this again. So we've got 5 inside the brackets, x plus 7. Now, again, remember, you've got to show your workings. So one way you can show your workings is, so you got 5 times x, and 5 multiplying 7. Okay, so you would do, as you're working, you do 5 times x equals 5x. So then this time you're doing 5 times 7 equals a positive 35. Remember, this is a positive 5, this is a positive 7. It's got the positive sign in front. And if there's nothing in front of a number, you assume it's a positive. So that's a positive. So these two, once you've expanded, you got rid of the brackets, simplifies to 5x plus 35. Okay, so I'll let you guys do part B. Be careful here, this is a negative 2, so you're going to do negative 2 times 8, you're going to do negative 2 times 3. Remember, negative times a positive is a negative. Negative times positive is a negative. Okay? Question 3, simplify 2a plus 5a and 4m times 3m plus 2m. So again, I'll do the first one with you guys. So 2a times 5a. So remember at the beginning of the lesson, I said if you multiply x times x, that will give you x squared. So 2 times 5 is 10. A times a is a squared. So that's going to be 10a squared, a to the power of 2. Just in case that's a little bit clear. So it's 2 times 5 equals 10. Yep. And then a times a equals a squared. So bringing the two together, that will give you 10a 10a squared as your final answer. So you now do part B. So you've got 4m times 3m times 2m. Remember, if a times a is a squared, m times m times m will be m to the power 3, m cubed. Okay? Question 5. So this is a real, if you like, it's a question that you could, get in real life. So a sculptor makes 2 cubes out of concrete. The smaller cube has a side length of x centimeters. So we don't know what the side length is. All it tells us is x, it could be anything. And the larger cube has a single side 3 times the length of the smaller cube. So we've got 2 cubes. So we've got a cube here, and we have another cube, and 1 cube is 3 times the length of the side of a smaller cube. So remember, the cube, your 3-dimensional shape here, okay, of a square, because all the sides are the same. Basically, this side here, this side, and 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 this side, all of these sides are the same length. We don't know what length is, so we just say it's x. But we know the larger cube is 3 times the length of a smaller cube. So the first one is write an expression in terms of x. So you've got to use x for the side length of the larger cube. So we know the larger one is 3 times bigger than the smaller one. So we can just simply write 3x. So using x, the side length of the larger one, because it's 3 times bigger than the smaller one, this is the smaller one, we can write it as 3x. And then part B says write an expression for the volume of each cube. Now remember, the volume of the cube is the length times the width times the depth. The length times the width times the depth. So that's going to be x times x times x. So x times x times x for the volume of the smaller cube. And then what will be the volume for the larger cube? And then part C says write an expression for the total volume of concrete needed for both cubes. Write your expression in its simplest form. So let me just move this out of the way. So it says, write an expression for the total volume of concrete. So how much concrete would I need to fill in these 2 cubes? Write an expression in its simplest form. So once you worked out part B, the volume for each of these cubes, the smaller one and the larger one, you would need how much concrete for both of them. So cube, smaller cube, and plus the larger cube. That's your hint. And for part D, use your answer to part C to work out the total volume of concrete needed for both cubes when x equals 10 centimeters. So once you've worked out the part C, you then substitute x equals 10 to work out the total volume of concrete needed for both cubes when x, the side length, is 10 centimeters. Okay, again, I will let you have a go at that question. Have a go at it. If you can't do it, that's fine. Just message me or ask one of your peers to help you out. But I'm always here. You can message me or Zoom me and I can talk to you in private to help you go through whichever question you want me to. Question 6, write an expression for each perimeter. Write your answer in its simplest form. So again, keyword here is perimeter. Remember, the perimeter is a distance outside the shape, not inside, but outside. So if I'm walking from here to here to here, how much have I walked? The distance, the perimeter. And then, so the distance, so I've written it out for you here. So we've got 2x squared plus 3y squared plus 5x squared plus y squared plus 3x squared plus y squared. So again, remember to collect the same creatures. So we've got x squared here, 2x squared. Where else is x squared? You've got 5x squared and 3x squared. So 2x squared plus 5x squared plus 3x squared. So we'll just quickly write this out. 2x squared plus 5x squared plus 3x squared. Do it that simple. So 2 plus 5 is 7 plus 3 is 10. So that's going to be 10x squared. We have a final part. So the other terms, the other creatures in this expression, you've got 3y squared plus y squared plus 7y squared. So like we did here, 3 plus 1, remember y squared is 1y squared. So 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 7 is 11. So that's going to be 11y squared. And like we did before, remember x squared and y squared are not the same creatures. So this will just simplify to 10x squared plus 11y squared, or its perimeter. So I've done that part for you. Now you guys have a go at doing part B. Remember, opposite sides are the same. So if this tells you this is a squared minus b squared, this opposite side is also going to be a squared minus b squared. And the opposite side here will be 2a cubed plus 3b squared. Opposite side here. Write them out in full, collect and simplify like we've done in this part of the question, and then write its perimeter in its simplest form. So it won't simplify any further. Then the final question, it says add together two expressions linked by lines. So we're collecting like terms, and then repeat part A in many different ways as you can, and add all three expressions together. So basically, you can collect and simplify the blue blocks with the yellow box, or you can do the blue box with the pink box. You can do the pink box with the yellow box, sorry. Or you can do the, I think that's the only combination you have. I've missed one. And then once you've written them out, repeating A, so the blue box plus the yellow box, blue box plus the pink box, remember the yellow box plus the pink box. Then once you've done all of that, then you add all the three expressions together. So collect 5q plus 2p squared minus 3q squared plus 6p squared plus 4q plus 10q squared plus 12q squared, subtract 3q, subtract 5p squared. So write it all out in full, like we've done here, like we've done with the perimeter question. Then highlight or underline all the creatures which are the same, the like terms, and then put them together all into one group, simplify them. And once you've simplified it as much as it can, you leave it there. So again, we're only doing questions 1 to 7. We'll look at this again more in depth as we go along. Any questions, please message me and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. As always, just try your best. If you can't do all of it, that's fine. And if you need me to, I can always have a private Zoom session with you to help you with any questions you're struggling with. And enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you guys in tomorrow's lesson.